We have a saying at our house, patience, she doesn't live here. I am by nature, and probably not uniquely, a very impatient person. I have learned that there are times and places to practice patience. And it is a spiritual practice for me because it is not my default response. I mean, let's get this thing done. Let's do it right, and let's get to the important stuff. Patience doesn't live here. Which is probably why this quote from Stanley Hauerwas was so enlightening for me. Advent is patience. It's how God has made us a people of promise in a world of impatience. Oh. Ironically, Advent is my favorite season of the church year. I like the fresh start of a new year, the possibilities of new insights in faith. Perhaps unconsciously, I like Advent because it forces me to stretch myself into patience. It counters our desire for instant gratification and our focus on accomplishment. Advent reminds us to focus on the moment, the now. During Advent, we prepare for the coming of Jesus at Christmas, and we anticipate the gift of all gifts, and we get ready to receive it. Hauerwas says, God has made us a people of promise, a people of anticipation. Resolutions and fresh starts articulate our hope that things will be better and different in the year to come. And Advent prepares us for the promise of God coming to dwell among us. Divine love revealed in human form. And our responses: joy at our belovedness, awe at God's vulnerability, daring the realization of God's image in each of us. A people of promises, waiting, anticipation. The readings on the first Sunday in Advent always have an apocalyptic theme, reminding us that this season of waiting and preparation is about something that will shake the world to its foundations. This year, I also heard the pleas of faithful people for God to remember us, and reassurance that God remains with us to the end, no matter what. Did you know that apocalypse means uncover or reveal? Apocalypse recalls the end of the world with devastating earthquakes, fire and floods, worldwide chaos and false prophets. And thanks to the revelation to John for those images. Images that for John are all about God's glory, breaking through the fragility of our world. In Advent, we wait for the glorious revelation of God's love and justice breaking into our world. We join generations of faithful people waiting for God enfleshed. The world will not, cannot be the same when God is born and walks among us. But that's the big reveal at the end of Advent. And there we go again, focusing on the end. We're not there yet. Patience doesn't live here. Oh wait, Advent is patience. The discipline of waiting is in preparation. It's what we can do today. Quieting our hearts and minds, letting go of the expectations that drive our impatience, keeping awake to small moments of holy joy around us. We do not know where or when we will encounter the Christ, the one who shows up in the most vulnerable places. like mangers and crosses. We can cultivate our patience by paying attention to the holy and small moments with no expectation other than awe at God's grace and love. Give yourself the gift of patience this Advent. Here are a few things you might try. Watch the sun rise or set. Give thanks for your blessings. Read a small piece of scripture and reflect on how it speaks to you. Pray for our siblings whose lives are disrupted by hunger or homelessness or persecution. Reconnect with a friend. Mend a relationship. Listen to your parent or child tell you the same story for the 15th time because they crave your love and attention. There are many more small moments, and there is no need to accomplish a list. The accomplishment is patience, making room for God in our hearts. In Advent, we anticipate God's commitment to enter our lives just as they are, to love and redeem us, to shower us with grace and forgiveness. We wait for Jesus, the Word made flesh, the incarnation of God's promise that holy love and justice will endure beyond all death, doubt, and fear. Patience? She doesn't live here. But if she wears a mask, she can visit this Advent. God has made us a people of promise, waiting and watching for God's love to dwell among us. Patience invites us to take time to notice where God enters into our lives in surprising and unexpected ways, softening our hearts and bringing us hope.